Hello once again, my friends. Today we begin learning track number 2 from the Randy Rhoads and Ozzy masterpiece, Diary of a Madman album. Hopefully you enjoyed the first round, which was the opening track, Over the Mountain, and in case you missed it, there is a link in the description. Just like the last lesson, Randy is tuned down a half step on Flying High Again. The intro to the song consists of 3 power chords: A5, 5th string open, 4th string 2nd fret, 3rd string 2nd fret, and I bar that with the index finger. D5, 4th string open, 3rd string 2nd fret with the index, 2nd string 3rd fret with the ring finger. The reason for this will be clear later because you'll need to have your middle finger available for other notes. G5, which is played several different ways, the first of which is simply the middle strings 3 and 4 played open. A trick to getting this to ring out clearly is to lightly touch strings 1 and 2, but don't push down to the frets. Just lightly touch the strings, plus 5 and 6 with the thumb, or if you could arrange your index finger, I use my thumb for that. So this is muting strings 1, 2, 5, 6. So even if you strum all 6 strings, only the middle strings will ring out. So now that we know the chords, the opening rhythm is A5, D5, G5, back to A5, and mute all 6 strings. Also, as the section repeats, there is some single 5th string A notes after the first A5. The next measure is A5, D5, G5, but this time the G5 includes the middle finger on the 6th string 3rd fret. And the bottom of that finger lightly touches the 5th string to mute it. And this way you could strum strings 6 through 3. Hold the G5, then come in with the index on the 5th string 2, hammered to the middle on 3, followed by double D5s. So this is an example of why you want to play the D5 with your index and ring fingers, freeing up your middle finger. And with the C5 on the 3rd string open and 2nd string 1, then the open G5 on the middle strings for ending number 1. So this rhythm acts as the intro, verse, and chorus. Next up, we have a slight variation to the first measure, A5 to A6, which is 5th string open and ring on the 4th string 4th fret. Middle to a single 6th string 3rd fret G note. A5 back to the 6th string G with a slight bend and mute. The next 2 measures are almost the same as before, but you'll notice there's an extra note on the G5, which is the 2nd string 3rd fret. For this, I play A5 to D5. Then when I switch to G5, I leave my ring finger in place on the 2nd string 3rd fret. Applying the middle to the 6th string 3rd fret, muting the 5th string, and including the 3 and 4 open, plus a 2nd string D note. Also, when I'm strumming this, I take my free fingers and just touch the 1st string, so that'll prevent that string from ringing out if I hit it on accident. Then the same hammer on, and double D5. Then there's a classic Randy Rhoads fill starting on the 2nd string 1st fret with the index, pull off to open and repeat, 3rd string 2nd fret pull to open, 4th string 2nd pull to open, 5th string 3rd with a slight bend. The notes on the 2nd string use a pitch harmonic technique. You let part of your finger touch the string along with the pick to get that harmonic. I found this works best with downstrokes. So down on the 1st fret with the pinch, pull off to open and repeat. Repeat this rhythm but then revert back to ending 1, C5, G5. Things get a little more active on the next measure. Here we have an A5, open A note to A6. That open A note is probably palm muted. Again, it's overdubbed, so there might be some that weren't or some that are. So we got A5, A note A6 to 6 string 3, A5, and then back to 3 with a slight bend. But over that, there's a second guitar playing the first string, 15th fret with the ring finger and a bend. Add vibrato, either by hand or with the tremolo bar. So this is a good time to interject some common knowledge about this recording. Randy often overdubbed his guitar parts, which means he'd record on track 1, then rewind and re-record another take on track 2. These sections were often very similar, but they had slight variations, which gave the song a very unique sound. The next section is the same, with A5, D5, G5, hammer-on, and double D5. Then the ending before the pre-chorus comes right out of the D5 shape. If you eliminate the 4th string and move the fretted notes up a fret to the 3rd string 3 with your middle and 2nd string 4 with your ring, you pick and slide those fingers down 1 fret, back to the D5 position. Then repeat, then end on C5, 2nd string 1 with 3rd string open. Now, I know I said to use your index finger for the D5, but for that last one, for that change, just remember to use your middle finger because it's going to assist you on the slide. It's also possible that Randy played this on the 3rd and 4th strings, which would be the 8th fret. I'm using my pinky for the 3rd string 8th fret and my ring for the 4th string 8th fret. Slide down to 7, repeat, then down to the 5th fret. It's very likely that Randy recorded both ways. Here's everything we learned today at a slow, medium, and fast tempo. What's up, you guys? In this lesson, we're learning the pre-chorus to Flying High Again. It starts out with a chugging rhythm, then mellows out with harmony notes, giving a second half a classical feel. The pre-chorus is A5, palm muted A, A6, palm muted 6th string G note to A5. Palm mute the 6th string open, 3rd fret to 5th string open, then an extended A5 power chord, bar the 2nd fret on strings 3 and 4 with your index, bar the 5th fret on strings 2 and 1 with your pinky. Now, pick this section starting on the 6th string open with the downstroke, then upstroke on the 3rd fret, downstroke on the 5th string open and over all the strings so you can come up for the extended A5. And repeat. Next is the 6th string open, index on 2, and slide up to 5, but don't pick. Play G5 on the 4th string, 5 with the index, 3rd string 7 with the ring, and 2nd string 8 with the pinky. Play a D chord by barring the 7th fret on strings 4, 3, and 2. Then down to C on the 5th fret, and end with the inverted G5 that we previously learned. Repeat the whole section, but don't end on the inverted G5. Instead, let the C chord ring out. Here it is with a slow practice tempo. Next up, we have this partial F sharp minor. It's like a power chord, but play backwards. Place your index finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret and your ring finger on the 4th string 4. Repeat, then drop down to a partial C. 2nd string open with 3rd string 1st fret. Then a partial A, that's on the 2nd string 2 with the pinky and 3rd string 2 with the ring. The count, you play the F sharp minor for the 1 count. Hold for 2, 3. Repeat for and after 3. C for 4. A for and. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Next is a quick change from C to F sharp minor. Then another quick change from C to D5. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Then you add a D sus2, which is just like the D5, but you add the 1st string open. For the first ending, play a D5 on the 4th string open with the 3rd string 2nd fret. Then repeat the rhythm. But for the second ending, let the D sus2 ring out and add a 6th string 3rd fret G with a bend and a mute. Then go back to the chorus. Here's a practice tempo. Now let's put today's lesson together with a slow, medium, and fast practice tempo. Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to put all the rhythm guitar parts together, starting with some lead fills and variations and ending with the chorus variation Randy played with the flanger effect immediately before and after the guitar solo. If you are new here, we welcome you. Please subscribe, alert, and like. Say hello to me and everyone else in the comments section. This lesson will be included in my new phrase-by-phrase guitar method series. This one is titled Diary of a Madman, Randy Rhoads Complete Tutorial. Beginning with the second verse, we play a rhythm very similar to lesson 1, the intro, verse, and chorus chords. The first time is A5, A6, 6th string G, A5, back to G with a bend mute, A5, D5, G5, 5th string, 2 hammer to 3, double D5. Then there's a lead guitar trill, where you rapidly hammer your index finger to the 3rd string, 5th fret, and pull to open. This is played 4 times. Drop down to the 4th fret, played twice. Down to the 2nd fret, played 3 times. But on the 3rd time, you go back to the A5 chord to come in with the rhythm again. Only this time, the last note is an octave G on the 4th string, 5th fret. A5, D5, G5, hammer 2 to 3, double D5. Then that slide rhythm we learned in lesson 1. Remember when I said Randy likely played it in both positions? This one sounds like it's played on the 3rd and 4th strings, 8th fret, slide to 7, repeat, and then down to the 5th fret. As I previously mentioned, Randy Rhoads liked to overdub his guitar parts with slight variations. So in the next verse, one guitar adds an A5 slide from the 12th fret octave position. Play the open A5, palm muted A, A6, 6th string G, back to an open 5th string A note. Then the octave A5 on the 5th string's 12 with the 4th string 14, and a slow, steady slide down the neck. The trick to playing this in time is to play the G note, then when you play the open A note, quickly move your fingers up to the 12th fret position. The rest of the rhythm is the same. Then the last variation is to play the octave 3rd string 2nd fret A note with a pinch harmonic. If you recall, the pinch harmonic is achieved by letting the skin of your finger touch the string at the same time as the pick does. A5, A6, G note, A5, and octave A. The same ending comes next. Let's put this all together with a slow practice tempo. The next variation is to the chorus. This is played right before and after the guitar solo using a flanger effect. I went to grab my flanger pedal and it is not available. I can't find it. So I'm using a plugin on my DAW Studio One Pro 4. These settings may not be perfect, but they sound good to me. LFO width to 50, speed to 28, feedback to 50, delay to 1.5, depth to 57. All flanger pedals have similar controls, although they may be named differently, in which case you'll need to experiment. And I suppose this is a good time to show my amp settings. I'm recording with the new EVH 5153 Iconic amplifier. I'm on channel 2 with the burn button engaged. Noise gate is all the way up. For the EQ, I have low to 6, mid to 7, and high all the way up. This definitely has more low end than Randy's tone settings, but he's playing with a band and the bass guitar fills out the lows. I chose to boost the low end and give these lessons a fuller sound. If you want a tone closer to Randy's, drop your lows down to about 4. Each amp is different, but this should give you a good starting point. For this chorus variation, Randy plays A5, A note, G note with a bend, A note, A5, move up to inverted C5 on the 3rd and 4th strings, 5th fret, open A note, up to an inverted D5 on the middle string, 7th fret. For this ending, play the middle strings open G5 and C5 on the 5th fret. Repeat. But for endings 2 and 3, play G5, C5, slide down to B5 from the 5th fret to the 4th fret. Then the final run has us play up to the 7th fret D5 and hold that chord until the solo starts. Here's a chorus variation with flanger at a practice tempo. Okay, now we'll combine all of the sections we've learned so far, starting with the second intro and verse that we learned today, the pre-chorus from lesson 2, then the chorus variations with flanger. Here it is at a slow, medium, then fast practice tempo. All right, you guys, that wraps up today's lesson. I'm having a lot of fun doing this project. It's really brought me back to my youth when I first discovered Randy Rhoads. So believe me when I say that this is a labor of love. Let me know how you're doing so far with these lessons. Please add any comments, suggestions, or questions. Keep it tuned up and tuned in right here. Today, we're going to go head first into Randy's masterpiece guitar solo for Flying High Again. We'll break today's lesson down into 4 small bite-sized phrases that should allow you to learn the solo, even if you're a complete beginner. So, if something in today's lesson or any of my lessons gives you trouble, please let me know and put that in the comments section, and I will address it in a future video. Someone recently asked, why do you put this content on YouTube for free? Originally, my music books and DVDs were sold in stores, but nobody buys books or DVDs anymore, so I decided to put them here on YouTube. I converted all my DVDs to digital format, uploaded them. My very first title came out 25 years ago. That's Guitar Total Scales, Techniques, and Applications, which became a bestseller at Guitar Center, Musician's Friend, even Barnes & Noble. I put out a series of easy guitar DVDs, and I also put out a series called Phrase by Phrase Guitar Method. We started with classic Metallica, then classic Van Halen, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, and Randy Rhoads in 2011. Since then, I've had an overwhelming amount of requests for more Randy Rhoads. So, I started the project that you're watching now. This is called Diary of a Madman, Randy Rhoads Complete Tutorial, where I'll be teaching all the guitar parts from the full album. The guitar solo starts on the first string, 14th fret with the ring finger, pull off to 12, then pick the second string, 14, then 12. Play this a total of 3 times. The 4th time is similar. First string, 14, pull to 12. Second string, 14, back to first string, 12. So altogether you have... Next is a descending scale run on the first string, 17 with the pinky, 16 with the ring, and 14 with the index. To second string, 17, 15 with the middle, 14. Third string, 17, 16, 14, down to 12. Fourth string, 14 with the ring, pull to 12 with the index, slide down to 11, slide down to 9. Here's this phrase with a slow practice tempo. Next, we switch gears and follow up with an ascending scale run. Most of this is on the 3rd string, starting with the index on 9. Hammered to 11. I'm using my middle finger for each hammered note, but you could use other fingers if it's more comfortable for you. So 9, hammer to 11, slide up to 12, pull to 11, hammer to 12, slide up to 14. Pull to 12, hammer 14, slide to 16. Pull to 14, hammer 16, slide to 17. Pull to 16, hammer 17, slide to 19. Pull to 17, hammer 19, slide to 21. Pull to 19, hammer 21. To 3rd string, 19, hammer 21. To 2nd string, 19, hammer 20. Pick 19, then drop down to 15. And 15 again. Let's take this on a practice run. Next is a palm-muted step-down technique. The step-down pattern is a great scale exercise to play when you're warming up. Take any scale position. You start on the second scale note, drop down to the first scale note. Next is the third scale note, drop down to the second, fourth to third, fifth to fourth, sixth to five, seven to six, eight or octave to seven. The opposite would be the step-up pattern. If you want to learn more patterns like this, definitely check out my Guitar Total Scales, Techniques and Applications book or DVD. I'll put links in the description below. So for this solo step-down technique, we're palm muting starting on the 5th string 12 with the pinky, down to 10 with the middle, up to 4th string 9 with the index, back to 5th string 12, to 4th string 10 with the middle, down to 9, 12 with the pinky, down to 10, and end this palm muted section with the 3rd string 9 to 4th string 12. Next, release the palm mute and play the 2nd string 10 with the middle, pull to 8 with the index, hammer to 10, hammer to 12 with the pinky. Then we have a trill on the 1st string 9, hammer to 10, then pull off to 9 5 times. And end on the 2nd string 12 with vibrato. The 4th phrase we'll learn today comes in on 2nd string 10 with the index, hammer to 14. I personally like to use my middle finger for this stretch, but some might find the ring finger easier. So 10 with the index, hammer to 14, pull to 10. Then apply the same hammer pull technique on the 1st string, 10, 14, 10. Repeat the hammer pull on the 2nd string, 10, 14, 10. Then change things up on the 1st string by hammering 10 to 15, then pull to 10. I use my ring finger for the 15th fret. So this is repeated 3 times. Then end on the 2nd string, 10, 14, slide up to 19, to a trill on the 1st string 17, hammer 19, pull to 17, 19, 17, 19, 17. So it's a trill of 3 19th fret hammer pulls. Here it is with the practice tempo, and then we'll put all 4 phrases from today's lesson together. Okay, now let's combine these 4 phrases that make up the first half of the guitar solo. This is at half speed. And once more, a little faster. What is up, guys? You're watching my ongoing series, Diary of a Madman, Randy Rhoads Complete Tutorial. Today we're learning the two-hand tapping section of Flying High Again guitar solo. Starting on the first string, Randy double taps the 17th fret with the edge of his pick. Then sounds the 12th fret, which is held by the ring finger, and pulls off to 9 with the index and hammer back to 12. Repeat a second and third time. Then end with a double tap on 17, pull to 12, pull to 9. Next, you switch to the second string and move everything up one fret. So double tap the second string 18, pull to 13, pull to 10, hammer to 13. This is played 3 times. Then end with a double tap on 18, pull to 13, pull to 10. Now Randy tapped this with the edge of his pick. However, if it's more comfortable, you can use your index or middle finger. I personally learned to tap using my middle finger. This allows me to hold my pick and quickly change from tapping to picking. Use whatever technique works best for you. Next up, we switch to the third string notes, moving the same structure up one fret again. Double tap 19, pull to 14, pull to 10, hammer to 14. Repeat, repeat, then double tap 19, pull to 14, pull to 10. Move everything up one fret on the 4th string. Double tap 20, pull to 15, pull to 12, hammer to 15. Repeat a second time. Then end with a double tap, pull to 15, and slide down the neck. Let's practice this two-hand tapping section at half speed. Next up is run number 2 of our two-hand tapping section. This time start on the 2nd string, double tapping the 17, pull to 12, pull to 9, hammer to 12. Do this 3 times. Then double tap 17 to 12 to 9. Move everything up to the 3rd string, playing the same frets. 17, 17, 12, 9, 12. Repeat. Repeat. Then end 17, 17, 12, 9. Stay on the 3rd string, move everything down 3 frets. Double tap 14, pull to 9, pull to 6, back to 9. Play this a second and third time. End with 14, 14, 9, 6. Switch to the 4th string and move everything up one fret. Double tap 15, pull to 10, to 7, back to 10. Repeat a second time. Then end with a double tap on 15, pull off to 10 with a steady slide down the neck. Here's a second tapping run at half speed. Now let's put all of today's lesson together for a practice run. Okay, so now we're going to combine yesterday's lesson with today's and practice the whole guitar solo.